Hey, what's going on, guys? Khordmaster is here, and welcome to iOS Music Exploration. iOS Music Exploration. This is something that I've been wanting to do for several months now, I would say. I have a lot of music apps here on my iPad where I do the bulk of my music production lately, and I've wanted to, think of a way to incorporate exploring these apps with my YouTube audience. I know a lot of you guys are producers and use the iPad as well as other portable and even some non-portable ways of making music. So what I wanted to do here is kind of go through every single one of my music apps in a live setting and keep it organic, and whether the sessions are 5 or 10 minutes or if they're closer to an hour, I guess depending on maybe how much fun I'm having and how much I'm enjoying the actual app that I'm using, and just have some fun, answer questions when questions come up, and basically give a demo of the app, a real life, live demo of the app, and maybe see if there's anything that I can discover that I didn't know about the app prior. I mean, several of these ones that I have on here are ones that maybe I've only used for a really, really small amount of time. And this is not one of those. I've used this pretty extensively. This one here is called Animoog. This is the first one that we're going to look at for today. And yeah, that's what we're going to do. So I'm just going to kind of play around with the app in a live setting. I mean, I'll keep the camera on. I'll look up to see if there's any questions or anything going on in the chat and stuff like that, and we'll kind of go from there. All right, so let's do it. So Animoog is an app made by the amazing company Moog. You can kind of see it there. Let me actually make this a little bit clearer. Yeah, and even I want to focus in on the app screen as best as I can. About there, perhaps. About there, perhaps. All right, that's cool. So yeah, it's made by Moog. It's actually one of the first apps I think that I purchased when I first got my iPad. It might actually be my first. It might be my first music app. Maybe Core Gadget 2 might have been my first. Maybe this was second, but it's up there. It's one of the early ones, and it's probably one of the longest tenured, or it's been around the longest amount of time, from what I understand. It's a really cool app, and let's kind of dive in, right? So one of the things that right off the bat that makes this app really nice, in my opinion, is you have this screen that is reminiscent of a oscilloscope, better known as an O-scope, or I should say also known as an O-scope, something that I used back in my college days to look at waveforms, right? Sine waves and stuff like that. And when you play any of these keys down here, things happen on the screen, which is pretty nice. And just some visual sort of feedback, about what's going on, which is, I think, an interesting thing to begin with. When you click down here, you have this preset area where I think I may have purchased one of the items here from the store. I think actually the one I'm on right now, AC, and maybe this R Divine one, I think were purchased, perhaps. I don't really remember. But yeah, you have several sounds that are included already. And what made this app just fun to use right away is these keys on the bottom here are, there's different things that happen with the sound depending on where you press the key down, right? So if you press the bottom of the key or the top of the key, it oftentimes creates a different sound. So let's just do a little exploration. Let's see this bass pack here. I'm just gonna kind of jump around until I get something that I think sounds really interesting. I don't like either of those. Bad Beans, that one is called. Jump around. So bass pack has a lot of sound effects, which is not what I'm necessarily into right at this moment. Let's go to the keys section. So I think this might be a good example, right? So this one here, and if I press and hold this button and drag it, you can get more or less keys to show up. So if you press low it sounds like this. But if you press up higher, you get a different sound. And if you slide, not even the best example. I want to find one that really stands out. Let's see. Let's go to plucked. Here's another example up top. You got that slide action. And so to me, what's cool about this is that you are kind of taking advantage of the fact that you're using a screen to play the notes versus a actual keypad. You know, certainly you can connect this to a MIDI keyboard and you can use that to play. But I think, you know, when I'm using my iPad, it's really beneficial. Excuse me, probably came in pretty loud. Yeah, it's very beneficial to utilize the fact that you're on a screen when you're doing like sliding and stuff like that. And I'm trying to find some other better sounds on here that really give this. Here's an idea. So if I go to keyboard scale up top, you can, this is on chromatic scale now. So each of these keys are just C, and it says everything will play the C major scale. Not quite, C, D, E, where's F? Okay, F is not. So yeah, let's look at this. So F is not in the scale for whatever reason, and neither is B. So this just has C, D, E, G, A. Maybe this is like the recommended. Let me just make sure my audio and everything is coming in nice and clear, because I did not do a sound check on here. Let me just make sure really quickly. There we go. For whatever reason, and neither is B. So this. Yep, there we go. We live. Sounds good. All right. So yeah, so it has it set that way. So let's go B and let's go F, right? So you have your whole scale there. If you want to, you know, put in everything. So you have that ability, which is cool. Phase reset. I don't know what that does. Let's go back to here and let's go out and then back in. Now if I go to keyboard scale again, yeah, so these keyboard scales appear to be set up in such a way where they are locked to whatever the preset is for whatever reason. So this one, for example, doesn't have any of the accidental notes, and it also doesn't have F or B. So if I were to go to another sound, for example, and go to keyboard scale, this is different. So I'm interested in as a piano player, I'm interested in what the reasoning is. So let's actually discover this together. So this one has a different scale, even though they're calling it chromatic. It's not a chromatic scale because certain notes are not in it, like D, E, A, B. But let's see what it sounds like. Yeah, so that's a total different scale there. It might have to do with, I guess, the developers who created this probably, I don't know, think that that scale would sound nice with that sound, perhaps. All right, so I want to explore a little bit more sounds on here that, like, because I don't think I heard anything yet that sounds really, really good, like really interesting. This is pretty cool. Wave dance, this one is called. That is a little loud too. Let me turn this down a tiny bit. And also, if I go where to multi-stream, let me make sure I am not missing any messages from anyone in the chat. So I'm still figuring out. Oh, I don't need sound coming in. No, we don't need sound coming in. I'm still figuring out how to. Okay, there I am. So I'm in here. I don't know if you guys hearing double, but that's okay. I'm gonna get out of there. All right, let's go back to it. I think we're good. I'll just click here to see the chat, and I don't think it's gonna show me any YouTube chat unless if I go in here. There we go. Hey, what's up, Maxim? How are you doing, buddy? All right, let's check this out. Yeah, these sounds are kind of interesting. So bass pack, acoustic. What are these acoustic sounds? Are divine. All right, so let's check this one out. So you can slide both ways on here, which is pretty cool. Let's go. What's this? Less ancient. That's interesting. EFX. Weird. Some interesting sort of atmospheric type sounds that you can get with this. Let's go to the keys section. Let's go through each key. So this app also has a 4-track recorder with it. So if you wanted to go to here, let's actually find a sound that we like in here and record something. So if I go to 4-track recorder, and if I hit the arm button there, and if I hit the record button, it'll start recording. And let me actually go to envelope. These all have like a long delay. Is it under filter? Let's see. Okay, you tap and then you could, how do we change this? Oh, you just, so if I'm, all right, I went into filter and, okay, how do you change this stuff on here? I'm not sure. Even if I use this. Hey, what's going on, Benjamin? How you doing? Oh, there you go. You have to be really precise, it looks like. All right. So this tail. Not really the modulation. Let's see. I'm trying to get the... Oh, it's maybe this. Okay, so it's not the filter, it's the amp. So that gets you a little, we probably want a little bit of a tail. Release is right, release. ADSR. So yeah, 4-track recorder lets you so then you can like loop this, I believe. And then I can go to another sound if I wanted to. Yeah, you can go to a second sound and record over that, and then you can like export. I don't really remember. Oh, is it options? Yeah, so you can mix what you record here, and you can bring this into, you know, obviously another app or whatever, wherever you want to bring it to, record center, which is pretty cool, right? If you want to like record this and bring it into Koala or one of these other types of apps or something like that. Yeah, I think that when I first was using this app a while ago, when it first came out, I was really digging it more than for some reason right now. It's still, I think, a great app for sure. It's very popular too. And what else do you have here? You have a store where you can purchase additional sounds, of course. You have your setup section up top here. Connect your Bluetooth headset. Hey, what's going on, bro? How are you? Mr. Kurtzen, thanks for joining. Appreciate you. Yeah, 4-track recorder, keyboard scale we looked at, envelope modulation. So yeah, overall, definitely a cool app for sure. I think it's really creative and it looks cool, and the sounds in it are definitely really strong as well. I just think that like right now, the type of sounds that you're looking for in whatever you're working on, this is a very distinct set of, hey, glad to hear it, man. Distinct set of sounds that they have in here versus something like, one of Audio Kit's offerings or something like that. So yeah, that's pretty much it with this. Maybe I'll take a couple more minutes to just hop in and just check out a few more of these sounds on here just to kind of find something. Like that's weird in a good way. That's pretty cool. Now I wonder, you probably can't favorite these, which is weird, but that's pretty cool. So that same thing I was just doing. What if so anywhere you hit on this key, it's the same sound. But let's go through a few more of these R Divine packs. Keep looking at this cutoff. I think that's a little too loud. Random booger is what this is called. I thought it said burger. That's weird. Weird. Interesting. Let's jump to this. So this is actually a really cool one. So no matter where you, actually not no matter. So depending on where you hit the key on this one, this is totally different, right? If you press this at the top, you're hearing that that little rhythm kind of thing going on, but you hit it at the bottom, you just get like a straight sound without any movement. So let's see. I wonder if there's a way to make this bigger, and let's actually hit this whole button. And okay, so I'm curious about, let's see, keyboard scale, and I think mono. I think I might be onto something a little bit here. Keyboard scale, mono, hold, and then three, four, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and then not really rhythmic, because so what's happening here is no matter if you're not hitting precisely excuse me, at the exact right level for each of these keys, it's going to change the rhythm. So it's not really so much of a rhythmic thing, but it is cool that right, it changes the speed of how fast you're hearing that. Interesting, interesting. Okay, okay. All right, let's go back. Let's see what this polychrome sounds like. So what's happening to me here too, as a piano player, when I'm just experimenting with different sounds, I don't like being set in a certain scale, because like if I'm just hitting keys and I'm trying to catch like a rhythm and like an interesting melody, I don't like being in a specific scale, like locked into a specific scale. So, and I know Chord Gadget also has that same issue where when you're pulling up one of the gadgets there, it does not let you automatically deactivate, I guess, scale mode, and it doesn't look like that's available here either. So I'd have to come in here. I'm not sure what phase reset means exactly, but I'd have to come in here and like press every single one of these buttons in order to make sure that every note that you see there is on the keyboard. Interesting. All right, let's go to the next. Now, but okay. Yeah, so there's a lot of cool sounds here. It's jumping around now. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, so the app again is called Animoog. It's a dope app. I know it's been around for a long, long time, and I think it's pretty popular. I don't think they have AUV3 on this app. So if you're using this with one of your beat making apps, such as Beatmaker 3 or Cubasis or something, you'd have to use it as a, what is the other thing called? AUV3 or audio. Dang, I forgot the name of the other, the older technology, right? Yeah, so that's kind of what I want to leave off with. Check out some comments here. Appreciate pads and ambient vibes, and most synth sounds too EDM-like. I prefer not using scale mode too. I like to discover the yeah, for sure. That's definitely where it is for me. It's like you feel restricted a little bit, right? You definitely feel restricted. But yeah, that's where I'm going to leave this one. Appreciate you guys joining. I'll be doing these maybe every day. Like, I just want to just keep it casual. Just hop in and in-app audio, inter-app audio. That's what I was thinking of. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining, and I will catch you guys on the next one. All right. Take care. Have a great rest of